right, greetings everyone. This is Malik Assad Jafar, and I'm out here enjoying this lake in this rain cold weather. Oh man, it's just great weather to me. I love it. I love overcast days. They turn me on. So, with that said, today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over the difference between hopelessness versus purposelessness. All right, let's get into
it. I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession, the master of my chosen field, of that there is no question. Serious.
So, I first want to give a definition to both of these words in simplistic terms. Hopelessness is to not have an expectation of success or positive outcomes. Purposelessness is to not identify with a significant purpose or meaning, lacking direction. They are similar but very different. Why it is important to understand the difference between the two is because when treating someone, it is the difference between continuing to be disturbed or mentally unhealthy and mentally healthy. What makes these things tricky is the factor that makes them similar. And that similar factor is incarceration. There are two types of incarceration that I'm focusing on based on the populations that I have dealt with. You have physical incarceration, and then you have mental incarceration. Now, purposelessness is attached to physical incarceration, and hopelessness is attached to mental incarceration. I will explain the obvious one first, which is physical incarceration. And that is when someone has been physically detained and kept for a significant amount of time in jail. A person who's been locked up could exhibit characteristics of having purposelessness. Main factor is that they can't walk away from that which is keeping them locked up literally, and is related to post-incarceration syndrome, but that's a whole nother something. Persons that have gone through a type of mental incarceration are people that have been compromised in a circumstance that requires them to acquiesce to someone or something emotionally. An example would be an abusive relationship, a bad job that you think you have to stay at, or an unhealthy family dynamic. And these are just to name a few. There's plenty out there. A person could exhibit characteristics of hopelessness from conditions like this, but they are clearly situations that you can walk away from. All right? You can. Let me say this. I have read other definitions of purposelessness, and it would appear that some people believe that purposelessness is pleasure driven, as if someone was cavalierly engaging in activities that are self-serving. For some, I've seen people's definitions of hopelessness, and it would imply that it is the development of learned helplessness, resulting in hopelessness. What I am expressing is my point of view, not for debate of the other approaches, but to be used in conjunction with them therapeutically. To respect the time of the video, I don't want to go into the specifics of that, but I will give you something to think about that can assist in your development. When dealing with people who have been mentally compromised and emotionally stunted, what you want to do is find that which is impeding them and work on promoting the root. Okay, and what I mean by the root is the root of purposelessness is purpose. The root of hopelessness is hope. Collaboratively come up with objectives that promote purpose for those that lack it. Objectives for those without hope that will promote hope. And the 7 areas that I like to utilize are in your spirituality, family, hobbies, community, work, friends, And last, leisure time. Now, I'll do a video on becoming active in these particular areas to generate purpose and or hope. All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. The main reason why I did it was because there are a lot of people who are, I don't want to necessarily say stuck on certain tactics, but again, one size does not fit all. And so in order for you to determine how to approach a person, you might need to understand their plight and where they're coming from, and mentally where they might be, from actually being in a position to where they were, again, as I said before, all of the conditions are a form of incarceration, whether that is an actual physical incarceration or a mental incarceration. It's still forms of incarceration. And how you approach a person is the difference between getting help and not. All right. So with that said, be blessed, stay safe, and I see you next time. Peace. Bam.
I'm the best, so do not test the top of my profession. The master of my chosen field, of that there is no question.